to you, my friends. An uptown girl. I don't know why I have Uptown Girl in my head. She been living in an uptown world. Remember when Danny from Full House sang that on the guitar? Bob Saget. He is so funny and pretty fucking dirty on his stand-up. I remember when I was younger talking with my friends about which old men we would probably want to have sex with if we met them in real life, like out of celebrities. And mine was always Bill Murray. I know he's not like typically attractive, but he's hilarious, and the way that he flirts is just game on for me. But I'd say Bob Saget added to that list after I saw his dirty stand-up special. And I find most recently, I'd say probably Anthony from The Wiggles. He's pretty spry for an old guy. The moms say I'm pretty spry for an old guy. He should sing that in his Aussie accent, in his little wiggle pants. I've had the talk with my husband. He's probably gonna kill me for sharing this, but his old woman that he wanted to bang was, oh my god, what's her name? Meryl Streep. I'm like, why? And he's like, because of the power that she holds when she walks into the room. I'm like, okay. Oh, it's funny to have those conversations. You gotta be able to talk openly with your spouse about stupid shit like that. Be open about how many people you've had sex with, what attracts you, what type of old celebrities you'd bang. It's fun. If you're able to talk about that type of stuff with your partner openly and laugh about it and be okay and not jealous, then I think that's definitely a good sign, because you're definitely able to open up better to each other. Not only about maybe embarrassing things like that, but anything that's going on in your life, right? So at least maybe that's a stepping stone for anybody looking for relationship advice. I had 3 of my stand-ups posted on YouTube, but then I was watching Your Mom's House, that podcast with Tom Segura and Christina Pajitsky, and they were talking about how, like, you know, if you're just starting out, you probably shouldn't post that stuff right away. Wait until you get better at it, basically. And it made sense what they said, and it was good advice. So I took them down, because it was one was my very first show, and I mean, I've only done like a handful of them, so I'm definitely not a pro whatsoever. But stand-up is definitely something I want to get back into when my kids are a little bit older, because it's hard for moms to get away from home. It may be old-fashioned to say, it may be double standard, it may be sexist, but I'm just gonna say it. It's harder for moms to get away from home for any type of work-related thing, or just have to go for something, than it is for dads. And I don't know, especially when they're little, at least, when they're young. I mean, I have a 10-month-old and a 5-year-old. 5-year-old, he could handle, but 10-month-old, he still needs his mama. And I'm not gonna lie, it feels nice. So this is definitely a much better job than being on the road being a stand-up comic, for now. Although, you know what, being on the road, it's gotta be lonely, right? Gotta be lonely at times. I traveled a bit when I worked for the magazines, and it was cool and exciting that I got to go to those places, but once I was there was times where I was thinking to myself, this could be so much better if I was here with Sean, or, you know, some of my best friends, or my family even, like, would be great. But that's the thing, when you think about these goals for your life, you think like, oh, I want this and this and this, but you don't always think of like the flip side of the coin of what the cost might be for those things. For example, when I was younger, I always said I wanted to have a job where I got to travel. Well, I got that straight out of college, but I didn't think about how lonely it would be on the road without friends and family. So I didn't work that into my equation of when I planned it, when I like self-manifested my goals. When I remember writing that down when I was a little kid for some reason, because we talk about goals and that in school. So I wrote down, and they were talking about, oh my god, I totally forgot about this till now. Okay, grade 1 or 2, I remember writing out goals for like, I want to learn to spell better, learn to do this better, typical things that schools would want you to say, right? Well, I remember going home and writing out goals that I thought actually mattered. I wrote out some life goals. I wrote out, I want to get a job where I travel the world, I want to see everywhere, and I wanted to find somebody, a husband who was smart, funny, and adventurous outside. And I'm not saying like I magically made it happen by posting it on a board and just hoping for it. What you gotta do with the whole gift, the secret thing that they're talking about, this self-manifestation, you gotta know what you want, and then you gotta work to get it. And that's, any person who's successful will tell you that's what they did. You don't just, it doesn't happen overnight, it's baby steps. It's like when you look at, I used to work in a newspaper, and I think this is where this thought came to me. When you look at those huge rims, barrels of paper, they're so heavy, you need machinery to move them. But individually, this paper towel, but one piece of paper itself is so light, it's nothing. And think about that, like, you want, your big goal is that big, giant, huge barrel of paper, but you can't get that without one of these at a time, one step at a time. Guess you could look at it the same with money, 1 cent at a time. That's something I've never been a fan of, is money. Wealth is one thing. Wealth means something different to me. But money is just, it makes people evil and corrupt, and I think it kind of throws us off our natural path of what we should be doing with our time. Unfortunately, right now, the society we live in, time equals money. And I think I said this before on the podcast, so I'll say it again. We need those replicators from Star Trek. I think that would be amazing. And just get rid of money altogether. You know, people will have their basic needs met. We'll be able to focus on more intellectual things. Ideally, in a perfect world, but there's too much diversity. Wow, I didn't think I'd ever say that. That's not what I meant. What I meant, I guess, too many varying opinions of, I guess, of everything, of what is peace, of what is love, which is a good thing. We do need diversity. I did not mean to go in the other direction there at all. Oh, but yeah, anyway, back to the Theo Vaughn podcast with Whitney Cummings. It's just really good so far, and it's good to see real people talk about just their honest feelings and things, shit that they've gone through. And it's good to hear sometimes that you're not the only one going through those things. It's funny, sometimes you realize that you're getting encouraged by somebody who has no idea that they're encouraging you, right? I guess that's some of the magic to podcasting, and just throwing your voice out there, throw your opinion out there, throw your motivation and love out there, and somebody will pick it up. Somebody who needs it will pick it up. I guess that's totally, the romantic, fucking optimistic side of me speaking. And I married a pessimist. You know what, we need each other, we balance each other out. Yeah, since I started dating Sean when I was 18, he has opened up my eyes to so much in this world that I was just sheltered from a lot of it. Just hearing his stories growing up, shit he's gone through. And then I think what really popped my little bubble of what I guess, what it felt like, but I didn't have the word for it then because it wasn't the same then. My safe space. Was my little bubble around me, and what popped that finally was watching Zeitgeist. And I don't know if you ever watched that, but fucking sit down and take a look. A lot of it's focused on 9/11, but a lot of it's just about fucking the government, and maybe a lot of it's conspiracy theory. I don't know. It was an eye-opener regardless, just to see the world for what I think it truly is. And it was a beginning of an eye-opener through a different perspective. A different perspective on life in the world and politics, and why fucking government is the way it is. And so a lot of craziness out there, man. It's crazy. Maybe that's why I got so irritated when this whole safe space movement, it seems, started. And I guess that's because by then my little bubble had already been popped. So anyone who says, oh, this is my safe space, I was like, the world is not a safe space. We need to stop kidding each other and telling ourselves that it is. Because it's not. It's just living in denial and being naive is actually more damaging to you than it is good. Ignorance is bliss, but it doesn't mean it's right. I guess what I'm saying, I just really started questioning things a lot more and not just taking information on blind faith that is what it is. Being more skeptical. However, to be honest, I am still an optimist at heart, and At times, yeah, my naivety, yeah, it still shines through sometimes. Having said that, I'm gonna throw this out there. Make this my little goal now. I would like to travel the world, travel the country again, and travel all throughout the United States. You know what? My husband can fly fish and hunt on those trips, and I'll hit up all the comedy clubs. That's my goal. That's what I'm going to be doing. He can come with me and keep me company on the road, get me out of trouble, and everything will be all right, all right, all right. What's his name? Not Woody Harrelson. God damn it. What's his name? Matthew McConaughey. He's probably the only guy who could play the creeper in a high school movie. Of course, we're talking about Dazed and Confused, where like he had long graduated and he's coming back still picking up the young chicks from high school. He's the only one who could play that sort of a creeper and still do it really hot. Just saying. That's one of those like feel good end of the school year summer movies. Hey, that's a today. Today is my son's last day of school. He's only in kindergarten, so he will not be going Dazed and Confused yet. You can wait till he's a bit older for that kind of behavior. But I'm just saying, that's one of those feel good movies that it just makes you want to like live life to the fullest, you know? It's like a youth celebration or celebratory type of movie. What else is like that? A good party movie is, I can picture I'm playing the whole movie in my head right now. What is it called? Seth Green is in it, and he's young, and he fucks in the bathroom for the first time with that redhead chick. Oh my god, I'm such at a loss right now. See, I have the IMDb app on my phone, but I'm using my phone to record, and I don't want to. Oh my god, that's gonna drive me fucking insane. Anyway, there's a few other movies like that. What's other good feel-good movies? American Pie kind of gives me that feeling too, but that doesn't take place in one day like those other two movies do. Animal House, of course. Animal House is a classic. I didn't watch that till I was older. That's because it was for the generation before me. So by the time I got older and I realized what it was, and like I gotta set out to watch that movie. It was kind of like I had to dig back. I had to learn appreciation for that type of genre first, and then I dug back for the moldy oldie goldies. The golden oldies. Can't hardly wait. Jesus, that was driving me crazy. Yeah, good movie. Well, I can't hardly wait to do this again with you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm done the dishes for now. And, yeah, that's all she wrote. So, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And anyone getting out of school today, I know I'm going to be posting this a little bit later than now. In a few days. I'm a few days behind. But if you're just getting out, have a great summer. Peace.